Hello and welcome everyone to Science Era. In this video, we are going to look at intelligence and creativity from Psych 1501. Intelligence is a complex concept and there are many different definitions of it. David Wessler, the man who developed many of the intelligence tests we use today, defined intelligence as the ability to act purposefully, to think rationally, and to deal effectively with the environment. Many experts agree that intelligence reflects memory, the ability and the reason to solve problems and the capacity to learn and to adapt to the environment. Intelligence also refers to the ability to perform complex tasks and the speed at which tasks can be performed. The word intelligence refers to a concept that describes certain type of behavior. Intelligence is not a thing in itself. Some people are regarded as more intelligent than others, but it is difficult to determine what criteria are for being more intelligent. One way to understand the concept of intelligence is to look at how it is measured. Intelligence is measured using psychological tests, which provide standardized measures of a person's behavior. This means that the person's behavior is compared to predetermined norms, which indicate how well a person scores relative to other people. Norms are based on the performance of a large group of people who are representative of the general population. Reliability is the measure obtains consistent result if the test is repeated. And validity, valid for the purpose it is designed for. If the test is valid for the purpose it is designed for. Measure what is supposed to measure. Example, people with depression would score high on a test designed to measure depression. Performance on an intelligence test can give us an idea of a child's mental age. This is based on age-related questions that the child can answer or tasks the child can perform on a test of intelligence. For example, an average 7-year-old can do basic addition and subtraction. An average 10-year-old can do basic multiplication. If a 7-year-old scores the same as 10-year-old, they would have an average mental age of 10 years. Mental age can give a good indication of child's level of ability, but it does not tell us much about the level of child functioning in relation to other children of same chronological age or CA, which is the child's age in years and months. In order to estimate a child's intelligence, we therefore need to know the child's CA as well as the child's MA, mental age. On the basis of a child's chronological age and mental age, we can work out a child's intelligence quotient or IQ by multiplying the ratio between mental age and chronological age by 100. IQ is not a total reflection of intellectual ability but an indication of the performance on the test. It is stable by the age of 6 and it starts to decline as you grow old. Only trained psychologists can administer anxiety, illness, language difference, and environmental exposure affects the IQ scores. Debate surrounding whether to inform someone of their IQ is always there. Average IQ is equal to 100. The intelligence tests have several tasks and subtests based on the theories of intelligence. More than 100 years ago, a British scholar, Sir Francis Galton, made a study of families. He concluded that success runs in families because intelligence is passed from generation to generation through genetic inheritance. He thought that the content of the mind were based on sensation and that people differed in terms of their sensory, perceptual and motor processes. He tried to assess mental ability by measuring simple sensory processes like action time or sensitivity to the sounds. Later it was found that these sensory processes were not related to the other criteria of mental ability such as success at school. Carlton coined the phrase nature versus nurture, referring to debate about the contribution of heredity and environment to intelligence. Nature refers to the inherited component of intelligence, and nurture refers to the effect of environment. Another theory is intelligence as one general factor or multiple factor. There is a view that intelligence is based on one single component or factor. A British psychologist, Charles Spearman, was the first person to suggest that difference between individuals' intellectual ability could be explained by this one factor. He based his theory on research, finding that there was a strong relationship between performances on different intellectual tasks. Spearman called his underlying factor general intelligence or general intellectual ability, abbreviated as G. Spearman acknowledged that the other factors played a role in specific abilities or tasks, and he called these specific factors, abbreviated as S factors. For example, doing well on arithmetic tasks could be as indication of arithmetic ability as an S factor. In contrast to Spearman's theory, Thurston in 1947 suggested a multiple factor theory of intelligence. He identified seven factors that he thought represented primary mental abilities. Seven factors identified by Thurston were verbal comprehension, or the ability to understand concepts in verbal form. Second one was general reasoning, or the ability to solve complex problem or plan something new by drawing an experience. Word fluency, or the ability to speak and write fluently. Memory, ability to learn and remember information. Number ability, the ability to work with numbers. Spatial ability, the ability to represent things visually in space and to manipulate them mentally. Perceptual speed, or the ability to recognize objects and identify similarities and differences between them. Thurston believed that these factors were independent of each other. However, research has shown that they were related. Thurston later acknowledged that the primary mental abilities were related to the general factor based on G. Gardner's opinion is that IQ tests generally focus on verbal and mathematical skill and overlook other important skills. He therefore developed a theory of multiple intelligence. This is an example of an approach that defines intelligence in terms of mental skills or abilities. Gardner does not know or view intelligence as the collaboration of independent abilities, but suggested that there are eight autonomous or separate kinds of intelligence. For example, musical intelligence for composing, appreciating, and performing music. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence for the movement of the body or body parts like dancing or playing football. Logical mathematical intelligence for logical reasoning, solving problems, and numerical calculations. Linguistic intelligence related to the expression and understanding of words or language. Spatial intelligence for organizing things in space, like drawing or navigating a ship. Interpersonal intelligence for getting on with people, and intrapersonal intelligence for understanding ourselves and being in touch with our feelings. Naturalist intelligence for recognizing and understanding and organizing patterns and relationship in nature environment. A theme common to many theories of intelligence is the question of whether intelligence is determined by innate skill or abilities, whether it is a result of environmental experiences. This is so called nature versus nurture debate. Nature refers to the genetic inheritance, and nurture refers to the environmental influences. A great deal of research has been done on contribution of heredity and environmental factors to the intellectual ability. In general, studies on heredity and environment shows that people who are closely related have similar scores. Identical twins have similar scores Then, non-identical twin. Heredity determines a person's potential. Heredity makes a major contribution to the intellectual ability. Environment. Intelligence is the result of environmental experiences. People raised in same environments have similar score. Children removed from disadvantaged homes with poorly educated parents get high test scores than siblings left behind. Improvised and unstimulating environments severely limits development of intellectual ability. Environmental factors activate the potential. Creative thoughts involves the generation of original, novel and useful ideas. Creative thinking is related to intelligent thinking, but it is not same as intelligence. Creative thought differs from a routine problem solving because it is inventive and includes originality. In addition, it is adaptive in sense that it must be appropriate to the situation and the problem. Creative breakthroughs are not related to unconscious thought processes, such as dreams. Most cognitive psychologists agrees that creative thought emerges from conscious problem-solving effort. Certain types of thought processes are associated with creative thinking. The first of these is divergent thinking. This refers to the ability to produce unusual and unconventional thoughts or solution to the problem. Guilford described divergent thinking as thinking that goes off in different directions. It is characterized by expanding the range of alternatives by generating many possible solutions. For example, if you are working for an advertising agency, you would need to use divergent thinking to come up with a range of possible slogans for a particular product. Divergent thinking contrasts with convergent thinking. Convergent thinking describes the thought processes that produces conventional or correct answer to the problem. By using convergent thinking, you try to narrow down a list of alternatives to reach a single correct answer. Convergent thinking generally relies on existing knowledge and logical solution. For example, finding the right answer to the multiple choice question involves convergent thinking. Second component of creative thinking is cognitive complexity. This refers to the ability to think beyond what is presented to you and to use the complex thought patterns. For example, if you have to make a picture using a shape like